Morning, everyone. So I'm Alex from Hong Kong. Just to give my understanding of the APAC region market. So actually, some of you already don't know that I have already talked about this topic for around 4 years. This is 4 times I talk about this topic. I just want to give an update for you to understand what is happening in APAC and what we do. Yes, so my topic is identify the opportunities in APAC business aviation market 2025. So first of all, let's to have a summary of for the past 4 years from 2022 to 2024. So actually, the APAC market changed a lot after pandemic. Although the mainland China still take the biggest shares of the APAC region, but the fleet size has already reduced a lot. I should say cut half of the original private jets fleet in China. And also this trend does not stop, it's continued to reduce even in this year. And also, the Southeast Asian market really grows very fast. Everybody knows that, especially after COVID. For example, in Singapore and the Indonesia markets grows a lot, very fast. And also, I must mention that not only mainland China, but also Hong Kong, Macau, and also the Malaysian market continue to reduce in the past 4 years. The fleet numbers, the overall figures dipped from the previous peak. However, we are expecting an uptick. The fleet activity is actually, to be honest, in this year, in the past years, it is a strong trend and growth, but not just for the short haul and the domestic flights. From the jet size, everybody knows that, the increased demand for light and large jets, but the ultra long range jets is still remaining favorable. Let's see one by one. So the first one I want to mention is about the China mainland, where we came from. In the past 4 years, the fleet side of China mainland has continued to reduce. So at the moment it's just around 249. But maybe, this number is just of last year. I think in this year the numbers dropped a little bit. We still see some the transaction happening now. So the aircraft is selling from Asia to US and to Europe, but not keeping still in this region. The China mainland still take around 21.5% of the whole APAC region market. So it is still the #1 biggest market for the private jets now. For the flight activities, at the moment, China may be the #3 biggest, business aviation flight in APAC region. So the first and second is Australia and India, just because the fleet size is reduced a lot. So not too much activities anymore. From last year, from last June to this year, 2025 April, everything is quite stabilized, not too much up and down, just for the flight activities. At the moment, the most busy destination in China still are Beijing, the #1. Shanghai is #2. Shenzhen is #3. I don't mention Hong Kong just because I have another slide for Hong Kong separately. So the numbers here is the average monthly departments for Shanghai, for Beijing is just around 200 flights. But sometimes maybe, I talk with some of my friends. So, it is not open numbers. I cannot find it officially. I have some, from some talkings and from personal communications, I got another numbers for Beijing. It's around, the average numbers is around 500 to 600 flights per month. It means that totally they still have around 7,000 flights per year. For Shanghai, quite similar. So the numbers here we show is just, we can find some resources officially, but I still have my personal way to get the numbers. For Shanghai, this is around 4,000 to 5,000 flights per year at the moment. I mean, combine the two airports, both these two cities, they have two airports. So the combined these two airports, the total number is something like that. For the instructions, actually, to be honest, at the moment, even in the past 4 years, there's not too much infrastructures, new infrastructure built in China mainland. But I must mention that, so the Chinese infrastructure is really good because of they has already built a huge airport. So they don't need to set up another separated general aviation airport or to set up a new FBO. Actually, their FBO there, the FBO there is huge, it's big, it's beautiful. So even sometimes they just share the VIP channel, the VIP lounge with the airport, but still very good, very convenient for the clients. Not like the other regions in APAC. Yes, let me to give you some ideas about Hong Kong. Actually, most of my friends sitting here come from Hong Kong, so they know more than me. Yes, I just share my ideas and understandings. So in my understanding that, so the ownership of, the fleet side of the Hong Kong is still very stable, but a little bit reduced. You can see actually from before the pandemic, we have more than 100 aircrafts, but now we just have around 50, 60 aircrafts here. Yes. So why, the reducing is so, we have this reducing just because the numbers show is the aircraft parked or based in Hong Kong, but most of these aircraft belongs to the China mainland owners. So that's why I should say, yes, we are influenced by China mainland market a lot. So that's why this is the real reason why the reducing come. At the moment, Hong Kong is still the number 6 most important hub, the business aviation hub in Asia. So we have the average monthly departures around 250. This is just a landing and takeoff. So if you are calculating like movements, it is quite similar like 500 movements per month. I just confirmed this with Vivian, the CEO of HK's BAC yesterday. So she told me that, yeah, that is the exact numbers. Am I right? Okay. So for the infrastructures, yes, I must mention that, yes, Hong Kong did a really good job in the past several years for the FBO, for the business aviation infrastructure, especially for Hong Kong BAC. They just have a new wing open, right? The new terminal open. It's really fantastic terminal. Very beautiful, very convenient. And also they start to supply the wing-to-wing transfer service with the HKIA. The clients can easily to transfer from the commercial to private jets, and also from private jet back to commercial. It is really, really convenient. You don't need to pass the CIQ. You don't need to go outside the terminal, the airport terminal, just from the air side, from the aircraft to aircraft. Very convenient. And also I must mention that Hong Kong, yes, just after the pandemic, so we saw some, the cash flow came out of Hong Kong to Singapore. And now I talked with my friends from the banks, so they told me that actually the cash has already fled back to Hong Kong again. So Hong Kong is still the number 3 biggest finance hub in the world. So that is good news for us. Yes, Singapore. This is a very hot topic, I think, just because everybody is care about what is happening in Singapore, and we heard a lot of news and rumors about that. The growth of business aviation market in Singapore grows a lot. Yes, that's true. In the past 4 years, Singapore is continued to grow. I mean, this market is expanded a lot. So even for us, we heard more and more clients to buy the aircraft or to relocate the aircraft to Singapore. So Singapore take around 7.18% of the APAC market shares. Yes, they are the number 3 busy destination in APAC region. The average, the monthly movements is around 400 movements. And also I must mention that, so the top 10 flights. So the top 1 is Singapore to Jakarta, the top 5 is Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. I think this is, from this point, actually, we can see that, yes, Singapore is really very busy here. Yes, Singapore has really a good infrastructure here. So we have a lot of MRO here, and also, for the FBO, although there's only one Singapore FBO, but we still can choose some different vendors. So they always can guarantee the best service for us. Yeah, that is really, I think Singapore is the most open city for the private jets, especially for FBO business. So you can still see some FBO operators here, but in the other cities you cannot see this in APAC region. Yes. Next is Indian. So India also booked a very good growth in the past 4 years. Yes, every year the numbers for the fleet numbers is continue to grow. Yeah, they take around 15% of the market share in APAC region. So for the flight activities, the number 2 and number 1 and number 2 are Indian. Yeah, one is Mumbai, the number 1. The second one is New Delhi. So up to our information, so the Mumbai's average monthly departures is around 443 movements. For New Delhi, the average monthly departures is 399. In the top 10 busiest routes in the world in Q2 2025, so Indian just has 6 routes in this top 10. So I think, yes, Indian market is how to say that, is developing so fast and should be, maybe they will take over China in coming 2 to 3 years. Yeah, just because the growth and a strong economic situation there. So, but India still have some problems. I mean, the first one is you can see that. So, unfavorable tax policy. You know that they will give a very high tax for all the private jets, and also they are not so friendly for the foreign registered aircraft, especially for the AOC operators. So, I think the charter operators sitting here, it is not easy to fly inside or in the Indian. So just dominated by the Indian operators. And I also want to mention about Southeast Asia. Actually, the Southeast Asia, in my understanding, it's the most important part, except the Indian, right? At the moment, although the Malaysia, I just mentioned that they reduced a lot from 2022, but the Indonesia does take the place of Malaysia. So we saw that Indonesia in the last 2 to 3 years, it grows a lot. Although most of this growth is small aircraft, some smaller jets, not as big as China one, like Hong Kong one, but it's still, the fleet side is still expanding. And also for the Thailand, yeah, I know some some friends here came from Thailand, so the Thailand market is still very hot now. So more and more the big aircraft to join Thailand. I just heard that the third G700 in Asia region just delivered to Thailand in Q2 this year, and also a new ACJ delivered to Thailand in this year. So we can see that, so Thailand is still very hot. Yes, so you can see a lot of the big aircraft there, Bombardier, Gulfstream, ACJ, BBJ. Yes, especially the newest type. Yeah. Not too much smaller aircrafts there. Yeah. In the past, we always think Thailand has a lot of the smaller size, something like Cessna or Hawker, but at the moment, they has already replaced by the big aircrafts. Vietnam. Yes, Vietnam is really strong. Yeah, every year you will see some new aircraft join Vietnam market. But I should say, although its growth is fast, but the fleet size is still very small. Even at the moment, it's not over 10 aircrafts. Yeah, less than 10. But all these aircraft are big ones. For example, 7X, 8X, 700, okay, 650. No small aircrafts there. Yeah, I think the problems why the fleet size is still very small is because of Vietnam still give a lot of limitations to the private jets. For example, tax. Yeah, they charge you a really high tax for the private jets. And also for Vietnam, you cannot, they don't allow the foreign registered aircraft fly inside Vietnam. I mean, for the domestic flight. So all the aircraft in Vietnam, they can only enter the VN registration. Yes. So it's the biggest challenge for the international operators to do the business there. Yes. For Lao, I don't know whether you know that Lao is a new market. Yeah, before pandemic, we don't know that there is any Laos aircraft there. But now, yes, they have. They have, although, up to my information, so the aircraft in Laos still very old. The owner still used to buy some pre-owned aircraft, but they only buy some big one, like a pre-owned G550, that is so popular there. The Global 6000, 5000 is so popular there. So I should say that, yeah, Laos is a new market for APAC region. Maybe they will, to supply another 10 aircrafts in the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah. So it's, I should say yes, because of the economic situation of Southeast Asia is stronger. And, I should say, yeah, U.S. market is finding some replacements for China on the manufacturing. So Southeast Asia really gets some benefit from this. For the East Asia, I mean, Japan and Korea. Korea is so stable. So all of us know that in Korea, the aircraft owner is just some huge company. Except that company, there's no new buyers or new owners came out. So it is so stable. For Japan, yes, a little bit changed, but still very stable. Just a quite similar reason as Korea. But I must mention that why Japan has some new members joined, just because some, in my understanding, the aircraft owner is Chinese, and also came from the other region from APAC. So their business is crypto. So Japan is very open for crypto. So that's why more and more the crypto owner, they relocated to Japan. They start to buy the aircraft. So that's why you can see the numbers here is growing a little bit. Yes, so for the East Asia, actually, I don't have too much words about that, just because it's stable, not much changes. Yeah, for the flight pattern, actually, yes, the domestic flights is still taking the biggest shares, yes, around 70%, percent of the total numbers. So flight, you can see that. So 1 to 2 hours flight is still take the biggest shares, yes? So in my understanding that, so the domestic and the regional, short regional flights is the major flight in APAC region. The changes are across the size. So from this page, you can say the long-range jet is still taking the biggest shares of this market. So, and the large jets reduced a lot. I must mention why, just because the large jet we mentioned here is including something like a Challenger, the Legacy, and some, how to say that? The OEM, they have stopped to manufacturing this type of aircraft anymore. So in replace, they use some new aircraft to replace, like they use the Global 650, 6500 or 5500, or the Gulfstream 500 to replace these aircrafts. So that's why you can see the long-range aircraft take more and more shares of the market, but the large jet, no. Yeah. And to my experience, and also based on my communication with the client, all of them prefer to buy the big one, the huge cabin, ultra long-range aircraft in this region, much better than the smaller one. So you can see, actually, if in this region, I should understand that clients like, they will buy or they buy some smaller one, just to fly the domestic, like the Indonesian market, Hawker, right? Legacy something, Cessna something. Or they will buy the huge one, like the Gulfstream G650, 700, okay? 7500. I mean the Global 7500, 6500, yes. They don't like the middle size. Or I should say the middle size is now so favorable in this region. Yeah, I just want to give a very brief introduction of this market and let you know what I thought. I cannot say this is the real what happening on the market. I just see what I see, okay? So if you have any questions, you can ask. I will try my best to answer your questions. Yes? So for, I just want to give you a summary of the market of 2025. So we still think, yes, we will have a continuous slight increase in APAC market. The spotlight is expanding of the economic. I has already saw that the economic situation in APAC is recovering. Not so good, but it's recovering, especially for China. The fleet numbers, yes, I think, yes, we are promising the growth of the fleet size despite the previous setback. So for flight activities, I still think the short haul and the domestic flight has gained the opportunities. So I should say that yes, so in this region, the domestic and short haul is still the major part of the flights. So the clients always fly inside this region, still inside this region. For the jet sets, yes, I just explained that. I think the ultra large range, the big cabin is still very popular here, or maybe some clients will buy some smaller aircraft just for the domestic. So the last is Q&A. If you have any question, I will try my best to answer and to share my thoughts about this market. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.